Okay, it's time to share a story that's actually happening in my life again and why it happened, what's going on. It's actually for disabled people too, to warn you. So wow, it's a really weird one. Okay, a lot of people know about it, but people don't know how it happened, why it happened, or anything like that. So this is one of those stories I don't like telling. Okay. When I first moved to San Diego to this apartment or this building, I ran into somebody who was a neighbor. They were very quiet, offbeat. He invited me to lunch, so like that. And by the way, I just want to clarify, I never dated this person, never had any romantic inclines or anything like that. So I was friendly to him as a neighbor and as a friend because I thought maybe we could just be friends. It's nice to, he was the first neighbor I met. Unfortunately, he used a card that I'm sure if you're disabled, you run into. Even if you're not disabled, people can do this just to get what they are after, which I don't know. We still don't know what he's after. We still don't know anything. I ran into a person who is very not good. We don't know. Okay, so this is what happened. He played the disabled card. So he played this card that, oh, I'm trying to help someone that's disabled. I look up to you, blah, 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 blah. Be careful, those people. This is what happened. So he played my mom. He didn't play me. I was kind of like, after he asked for something, I was like, and my mom was like, no, 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 help him. You really need to help him. So I'm like, okay, mom, like, that's not very good. And like, this was in front of him. So it was kind of like, I couldn't say, like, you can't give that information out and explain it because my mom is like this person that reads a lot and she believes everything she reads. So anything that's read is believable to her. But if you tell her, sometimes she needs like extra explanation and she thinks she knows everything because she's a mother, and that's what mothers do. They think they know everything at some certain point in their child's life, and they, blah blah blah. So I was trying to tell her not to give this information out, and she did anyways. So what happened? He ended up wow. I ended up with a bunch of weird, crazy texts that said, stop stalking me, stop calling me, and these are all in capital letters, misspelled, like freaky, like at freaky moments, freaky times of the day, like 2, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. He would knock on my door at 2, 3 in the morning, walk in my door at 12 midnight, walk in my door whenever he wanted. And I had befriended this person. So at the point that he started doing this, I started being like, okay, now I'm uncomfortable. I like confronted him. I said, don't, we shouldn't be friends. And so I gave him all the, okay, now I'm breaking it off. At that point, it got worse. He started showing up to places that I would eat, places I would go, and he would, like, okay, so let's see if you can see it. See this chair right here? He would sit like at a chair and just like stare like the Chucky doll, or like just stare out into space. It was really creepy. He would just sit there and be like, and I'm like, and I'd look and it would scare me because I'd see it out of the corner of my eye. So I'd be looking this way, people watching or doing my own thing, and all of a sudden I'd see this guy out of the corner of my eye. And so I'd, acknowledge him like freaked out, like, okay, and I did call the authorities. I did everything I could. At one point, of course, because of my physical disability, the doctors wanted to make sure I wasn't mental, so they sent me to a psychologist. By this point, he had sent me physical information, if you will, that clarified that this guy wasn't stable. So 8 years ago, I was told I was supposed to move and whatever. And I, of course, as you know, sometimes financially you can't do that. So, anyways, he went away for a while, and he keeps appearing. So, he appeared a couple months ago, and we kind of wrote it off, and my dog has been acting up again. So around midnight, around 10 to midnight now, and there's been some noises outside my door again. Of course I wrote him off because, this happened 8 years ago, so you don't like follow through. And I know that me and my friend who knows about it, and some people that know about it, we know that it appears every, we can almost count the months, so it's every 5 months that it happens. And get this, so I know what he's at. I kind of know what he's after. We're not sure, but okay, so one night he texted me, and I went to Verizon, and I went, okay, this is weird. I got this text message, see this, and they go, what'd you do? And I'm like, I didn't do anything. So they looked into it, and they saw an email address covered the phone number, and what it was the guy, they thought he had been hacked. So they're like, okay, just let him know he might have been hacked. So I, of course, have to text his phone, and all of a sudden he comes over one night, and he knocks on my door, and this is before everything I just told you starts happening. So and he goes, I go, what happened? And he goes, I go, I think you've been hacked. And he goes, no. And he looks up to the ceiling, and he goes, those are my friends slash cousins that they don't really like you. And they want to destroy love for you. They want to destroy every contact that you've ever had. Basically, they want to isolate you. So I got threatened, and I said, I'm like, of course I have my lifeline button, but at this point I'm like, I think I can handle this. And my voice got really high because when I get really scared, I start kind of screaming. It was I was like, okay, why are you saying this? And I was getting kind of loud, but not like loud, but not loud, and he literally went like this. The walls can hear you. So at this point, I'm like really freaked out. I'm like, oh my God, like, I start whispering because I'm like, okay, does he have this place like, bugged or something or whatever? So, yeah, he does it every 5 months. So every, like, my boyfriend or Ryan or whatever, I have to tell him about it. I told him about it. He denied it. About December, his phone got hit. My phone got hit, and we both got separated from each other. He goes through my contact list and separates anybody he wants from me. So it's really scary. And so, if I can't contact a person, I like go like kind of crazy. But just so you know, that's the story. And I know it sounds crazy because it's something I don't even like to talk about because it scares me. So but anyways, a couple nights ago, Jack started acting up again, and of course I ignored it, of course, because I forgot. And so this morning I tried to contact my mom, and we got disconnected, and I realized that I've been hooked into my internet. So yeah, so that does happen, especially if you're disabled. And the reason it happens is because there are some people out there that are going to look at you if you're physically disabled, especially because and they'll take advantage of you. And what it is it's a power trip. So they think because you're in a wheelchair or physically disabled that you're a weaker link. So what they're going to do is they're going to try to control you or whatever like that. So this is just this is really happening. I just wanted to put it out there that it's something very scary. It's terrifying sometimes. So just be cautious and don't fall for everything. Like, be kind, but be wary of people and be very, very discreet about things. And if someone asks for your information, like to access something in your home, don't let them. And if your caretaker or your guardian says it's okay, speak up. Because they might not know, that they might not be young enough to understand the technology and how it works. So that's the story about what's going on. I will be back in a couple days with something completely cool. So, yeah, and if you have any stories or anything you want to share, go for it. I want to hear them. Okay, bye.